First at 4, a Bexar County deputy constable is out of jail after being arrested by the agency where he works. The Precinct 2 constable's office arrested Leonicio Moreno, accusing him of perjury. Eyewitness News reporter Jalisa Irisari explains why the arrest is raising eyebrows.
This is another form of retaliation from Michelle Barrientes.
24 hours after arrested, Deputy Constable Leonicio Moreno called out his boss on television.
He's going to continue to make allegations because no one wants to stop him.
Constable Michelle Barrientes Vela is firing back.
Mr. Moreno has continued with his deceitful, untruthful statements.
Last night, Moreno was arrested on an aggravated perjury charge. The constable's office alleges Moreno lied on a sworn affidavit as part of a complaint he filed to the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. The constable's office says the complaint accused them of sexual harassment, retaliation, and hazing.
So unfortunately for Mr. Moreno, we do have documentation that does prove one of his EEOC complaints to be untruthful.
In a lawsuit Moreno filed against the constable's office, he accused Barrientes Vela of sexual harassment, citing an incident that occurred in a hot tub between the two on a work trip. Moreno claimed Barrientes Vela called him her work husband and repeatedly made efforts to touch and caress him.
I was not in the hot tub. I have one husband that I've been married to for 25 years, who I'm actually happily married with him. We're very blessed.
Since being arrested, Moreno posted bond. Attempts to reach him at a listed address and on a listed phone number.
The number or code you have dialed is incorrect.
Were unsuccessful.
That's it for right now, thank you.
The aggravated perjury charge the 18-year law enforcement veteran faces is punishable by 2 to 10 years in prison and a fine not to exceed $10,000. Jalisa Irisari, KENS 5 Eyewitness News.